Only those with ascended brains shall be able to understand what is going on in this video, such as this response from a movie recap video. They always have that computer genius friend, don't they? Without them, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Well, I am that friend, to be honest. Yes. And Mythical Purple replies, half of Reddit is the computer guy for their friends and family, to be honest. A lot of intellectuals on this website. Hello, Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here, and welcome to r/ I'm Very Smart Part 11. Let's get started. So, we have ourselves a smart boy here who understands model planes. Physics shows us that the object is so light so much that it could exceed the comprehension of a flyover. The energy sphere of the flying object does not need any cyclic motorization. Nice thesaurus, did you get it today? For this next one, his intelligence is far beyond ours. I'm genius IQ. Believe it or not. I'm pretty sure if you had a genius IQ, then you would at least have basic grammar and typing capabilities. Now that is how you deal with the faux intellectuals. For this next one, my guy is so smart the teacher probably cried afterwards. Teacher trying to insult me. Teacher, what's 1 plus 2? Me, 1 plus 2 equals 49 minus 48 plus 10 minus 8 equals 7 squared minus 96 over 2 plus 2 times 5 minus the square root of 64, and it just keeps going and going and going. Some say true intelligence is knowing how to simplify the most complex things, but this guy does the opposite. For this next one, if there had to be one place with more faux intellectuals than Reddit, it would have to be Quora, as shown by this next one where in another comment they bragged about their 5 degrees. Actually, I use my intellect to form a conclusion before manifesting it into language, thanks. Indeed, it was very early in my life where I realized my mental skills were above par. Soon enough, I got tugged into the gifted program to sharpen said skills. I does strain credulity to come to realize just shockingly lazy folks are in the wielding of their minds. What, this guy's grammar is on a completely different plane of understanding. One does wonder, but only momentarily. Also, I'm a critical thinker, which does require me to examine all possibilities, which does result often in my boredom. I wish you well, Tips Fedora, and all 5 degrees. This next one formulates diction to convey a thought. You know, relationships aren't complicated, it's just a lack thereof characteristics that enable ethical and moral disciplines that establish respect for one another. And it is evident in this exchange the lack of emotional development and understanding on both sides. But I digress. You really try to put the whole dictionary in one tweet and ended up saying nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Pretty common among these so-called intellectuals. What words did I use? Or how I formulated diction to convey an opinion? How does my opinion convey a thought? Not as fact, but to identify an issue that may have eluded us socially. This statement is an opinion that might shed light on a moral and ethical quandary. Sir, this is Twitter. For this next one, this poor fantasy footballer. It's tough being smarter than almost everyone else. It's a curse to be this good at fantasy football and right 99.9% of the time. People get jealous and want to tear down their betters. Ah, the curse of being able to construct the perfect team. If you come across a passage you don't understand in a philosophy book, the key is to underline it. That way, the next person who owns the book will think you not only understood it, but thought it was important. That way, you can pass on the anxiety. Oh, that is just evil. And the reply from the Socrates of our time. Or you can actually get down on your lazy ass and try to understand the passage. And if you fail, you might consider philosophy is not for you. And go back to your cave, bang stones together, and paint bisons on the walls. Ugh, those non-philosophers. They're just not as cultured. For this next one, someone was not happy being called out for dumping trash in the lobby to the self-appointed caretaker of the St. Agnes apartments. I understand you believe my abandonment of this cup to be an egregious breach of an unspoken social contract. I am the one who left it here. I am the sloth. While I admire the fire with which you uphold your commitment to a tidy common space, I encourage you to reflect on the wisdom of my decision to leave my cup in this utterly useless mailbox. When Rene Magritte said, "This is not a pipe," he inspired many to consider their perspective, to find meaning where previously there was none. Your original labeling of this mailbox as not a trash can inspired me. While you're likely too pea-brained to have realized what you were doing, you aroused in me a reflection on the nature of small mailboxes. Why couldn't it be a tiny trash can? Personally, I like it better this way, and am thankful for your almost certainly unintentional reminder to discover meaning in new places. May you also find the inspiration to view the world through a different lens. You might be surprised by what you see. Love, the Sloth. You know, it could have taken you a fraction of the effort to just throw the cup away where you're supposed to. My goodness. Hey, if you're enjoying this, then why not hit that like button? If you want to see more, subscribe and hit that little notification bell, and comment if you have something on your mind. And now we have a student pundit versus a lawyer. You have an undergraduate degree, a BA, in politics, or what? Yes, my degree is in politics. A lot of it about the US. My dissertation was a critique of how unconservative the Trump movement was. Excellent, but watch the documentary. Weird of you to reply to a tweet of mine professing an all-seeing eye on US politics and constitutional affairs off the back of watching one documentary. Maybe try doing a degree in it and working there for 4 months. Help my understanding is all. I'm a constitutional lawyer, Tom. For this next one, they should have learned to spell the word pedantic before embodying it. We wasted our potential and fought each other over invisible lines in the ground and the color of our skin. We should have reached for the stars, but in the end, we didn't deserve them anyway. Should have, or should have. Should of is not a term. Of is not a verb. One cannot of a thing. I mean, they're right, but just the way they said it. Well, you're just being pedantic there, buddy. You get the sentiment behind what the other dude said, so that's really all that should matter. Yes, I am being pedantic. Language matters and people shouldn't go out of their way to be wrong, nor should they permit it. Should've contains the exact same amount of characters as should've. No time is saved, and there is absolutely no value to being incorrect in this case. I care not for your scorn. Ah yes, the grammar must be absolutely perfect. This next one was quite the impressive child. Looks like a lock-picking lawyer video, but I could be wrong. Only use I can think of is for child-proofing cabinets, honestly. Depends on how crafty your children are. I disassembled and reassembled the family microwave when I was 3, and I'm sure I wasn't the only toddler too clever for my own good. I can see the disassembling, but reassembling it? Yeah, no. And now crypto snags another one. I'm so mad. I tried to invest in Elon Doge with the money I made from CLR seller, but I didn't have enough to do it. There was a $300 minimum with the platform I use. If I had had that money to invest, I would have made 8K on one day. It's not that I don't have the intelligence to invest. I lack the finances, and it is so frustrating. Multiple times I have called massive spikes in stock prices. I casually read market reports every week. I enjoy being proven right, but I would prefer to benefit from my insights. But class warfare stops me from doing that. Even on crypto now, it's getting harder and harder for small fries to get into the action. And unlike the last person, this next one sounds like he certainly has the funds. All I said was that people mistake me for being single more than you think. We had only exchanged like 5 generic messages before this one. It's okay, happens more than you think. No, I think it happens about as often as I think. I was gonna offer a partnership in a $12 billion deal. I thought you were single. Sorry, I'm 28 and I make 10 grand a week and I add that to what I've invested. Do the math. I was looking for a partner that was ready to invest 1,000 and ready to make millions. So what about this $12 billion deal you were talking about? My net worth is $1.8 million, but I'm lonely. I was looking for someone smart enough to move forward with me. Never mind, I would never break up any type of relationship, even if yours sounds one-sided. Ah yes, looking to make business deals with random people online. That's totally how I'd go about it, am I right? This next one was posted on a question: what would you change about yourself? Many potential valid answers, but this person went with the IAmVerySmart answer of, I would love to be dumb. To not analyze, see how complicated and complex everything is, to be able to accept something on face value, to not remember a myriad of minute details that make seeing anything in black or white impossible. I would reduce my IQ. Be dumb. Be able to live in this world and actively care about all the BS. Not have to struggle with knowing that everything is a lot more complicated than what most folks seem to think it is. Ignorance is bliss. Knowledge and understanding is depression. And here I thought knowledge was power. Guess not. This next one is quite bold to say Einstein was straight up wrong. If Einstein did lived in our time, I would told him, Mr. Einstein, you wrong about relativity theories, because in nonlinear space there is zero reference and time does not exist as we know it. Even matter have no state in nonlinear space. Only consciousness. Hold your atoms together and don't let your body completely disappear in the deep space of non-linear space. Then I would told Mr. Einstein, because of your theories, way too many people think that they smart, but they don't, because they know only one part of the existence and pretty limited in the assumptions. Then I would told Mr. Einstein there no such thing as unified field theory, because the assumptions are wrong. You can't grasp all fields without knowledge of nonlinear space, which represented by black hole. By this point, Mr. Einstein would tell me, "You are an idiot like Nikola Tesla one," and then I would say I am honored to be in the group of Tesla inventors and engineers, because we deal with real science and have first-hand experience. All those theoretical physicists just do spent their own life on complete nonsense and proving nothing, and do not produce any good advancement for the humanity in total. Oh, the humanity. For this next one, we have a warrior armed and ready with the power of the tweet button. Also, before anyone responds, make sure you know what you're talking about. I'd prefer not to engage in a battle of knowledge or reason with an unarmed opponent armed with facts, logic, and a tweet button. Very important. I'd never thought I'd find someone saying this unironically. I'm very smart, but this is crazy that I didn't know there were this many different types of bananas, with one sad reaction for some reason. For this next one, we have ourselves a cultured galaxy brain. What a sad life that must be, trapped in one single, barely formed perception of reality, completely rejecting all the benefits afforded you with the, at this point, largely assumed human-level ability to communicate and learn. What a nightmare in contrast to myself, a unliving galaxy brain aware of and molded by billions of perceptions and experiences, simply because I am open to learn and understand the motives, rationality, and morality of others. I share the limitless experience of the masses. You simply try to overwrite said experiences with your own. My way is without doubt infinitely more enjoyable. This has got some serious copypasta energy. They cannot be serious. A master of English weighs in on a missing child article. Hello again! More incompetence from NL. There's no photo depicting the girl's current clothing at all. Is it really that difficult to write a few paragraphs in relation to a missing child? Am I missing something? Are preschool children on secondment there? To ensure a better standard, I was considered very stupid at school and was placed in the bottom groups for every subject and activity. But then, it was all based upon silly, meaningless criteria which didn't bear any relation to my actual overall intellect and abilities. I don't expect that anything has changed. I'm now a master of English, and many other subjects. Shame the rest of the world isn't on my level now. Sort yourselves out, NL. It's getting pathetic. What's all the extra spaces on your comment there? This next one's on a post about a really cool Lego chess set. 100% it's a straw man. It's difficult on the brain to distinguish the pieces and will lead to mistakes in subpar play that aren't normal chess mistakes. That's the reason it's hard to play with. That makes his comment a straw man, because he's pretending the problem is that he doesn't like, but he is just a spokesperson for the view, not the reason for it. Hence his comment is a straw man. Novices like yourselves don't care because you make so many errors anyway that you can't tell the differences, but serious players prefer not to play with these gimmick novelty sets, as it deteriorates game quality. Yes, you have to understand, Redditors who dislike something but cannot dispute it will simply change what was said to something completely different, and so they can pretend like they are somehow saving face for the position, when really, they are just arguing with their imagination, aka straw man tactics. I consider myself to be something of a logical expert, so I'm able to quickly identify these fallacies and call the person out on them. It's the reason I'm so successful in debates on this site. Never lost an argument on Reddit. Are you trolling right now with the never lost an argument on Reddit, or are you just one of those Redditors? Anyway, Batman is for lower class losers. The Batman will be another corny garbage generic superhero flick in the long sea of corny generic superhero flicks. Imagine still watching superheroes, but not only that, a Batman movie, a superhero who's been done to death. I fear for the waste of oxygen given to this planet wasted on lower class losers like yourself hyping up the same rinse and repeat garbage. That could never be me. This is why you will never be on my level. I watch good movies, while you just watch Batman over and over again. This next one reads all the important articles. Me brings up highly influential and important article mid-argument. Argument ends. Such is life for the intellectuals like me. And this last one is truly cultured because they posted this on a hentai image. It's time to write an essay. So first of all, you made the common mistake of being extremely flat yet wearing that bib/toga, and your body is obviously beige. These three things, while mainly just the flat part, are not truly the things you would want within a woman. The reason why the bib was bad is because nobody would want to look in something that's already exposed. They can view it from the outside, almost like a PC. They don't need to go all the way inside, / there to look at something extremely obvious and overrated that make millions of male parts harden for no exact reason. Well, also since you're considered white, you're automatically given the title of racist due to recent events that happened there last year. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. Being a is often also considered illegal and legitimately demanding others instead of using the word can to at least to make it a little more on the manner side. Either that or you have put explode instead of explore, and frankly that would make it even worse. There is genuinely nothing you can do to make this less appealing, and in general it's convenient that I have the chance to write about something that's easy to talk about. Now please, if you may improve your art by learning from these flaws, and don't be predictable and make something different. This dude has got to be trolling. There is no other explanation I could possibly come up with for something like this. Anyway, I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially Bacon Cat, Cole, Pollock, Jury, Catalan, Cormendi, Spoonie, The Rogue, and Benjamins. You can join in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.